What we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is part of 600 pounds. What we're looking at is one of the original super heavyweights, the country boy himself, Haystacks Calhoun, who appears as part of the 14-man over-the-top rope battle royal.
Both Andre the Giant and myself in there. Neighbor, I've had the advantage in most battle royals by being the biggest one in the ring, but it's not going to be that way this time.
His opponent in this match, ladies and gentlemen, from Morgan's Corner, Arkansas, weighing 625 pounds, Haystacks Calhoun.
Ladies and gentlemen, Haystacks Calhoun making his appearance now into the arena here at the Cincinnati Gardens.
Professional wrestling has always carried the DNA of the circus. Long before it became a televised entertainment empire, the industry thrived on spectacle. Bearded ladies, strong men, giants, and grapplers sharing space under the same tent, each promising a sight the crowd had never seen before. Out of this world of traveling shows and sideshow curiosities emerged the concept of the wrestling attraction, a performer whose value was measured not by championships or athletic finesse, but by the sheer ability to draw a crowd. No wrestler bridged the gap between this carnival tradition and the modern era more seamlessly than Haystacks Calhoun. With his immense frame, rural charm, and instantly recognizable silhouette, Calhoun wasn't merely a participant in wrestling's growth, he was its centerpiece spectacle, the blueprint for every super heavyweight attraction that followed. His presence in the ring demonstrated how the carnival's fascination with extraordinary bodies evolved into one of wrestling's most lucrative formulas, marking Calhoun as a pivotal figure in wrestling's transformation from sideshow wonder to mainstream phenomenon. Haystacks Calhoun was born William D. Calhoun on August 3, 1934, in McKinney, Texas, into a working-class family rooted in rural Southern life. His extraordinary size became apparent early. By age 14, he already weighed over 300 pounds, fueled by a legendary appetite that reportedly included a dozen eggs for breakfast. Life on the Texas farms helped forge the incredible strength that would later define his wrestling career. By his early 20s, Calhoun's weight had grown to over 600 pounds. Though his physician warned him that his size posed serious health risks, Calhoun ignored these cautions, channeling his energy into building a wrestling career. The story of his discovery is something of wrestling legend. A traveling promoter reportedly witnessed Calhoun performing an incredible feat, lifting and moving full-grown cows across a field. This led to his 1955 debut under promoter Orville Brown, with Calhoun competing primarily in Houston, Kansas City, and various Canadian territories, quickly earning attention as a unique and compelling attraction in the wrestling world. Recognizing the entertainment potential of his extraordinary size and presence, Calhoun developed a signature persona, a lovable hillbilly from the fictional town of Morgan's Corner, Arkansas. Initially billed as Country Boy Calhoun, his character was instantly recognizable and visually striking. He sported a bushy beard, a crisp white t-shirt tucked into blue overalls, and carried a lucky horseshoe necklace, a gift from his father that became an enduring part of his image. Every element of the persona reinforced his charm, blending authenticity with theatricality, and creating a character that audiences could both admire and connect with. Despite his imposing size, Calhoun's gentle manner and natural charisma made him an instant fan favorite throughout the wrestling territories. Audiences were captivated not by menace, but by the contrast between his tremendous physical presence and his warm, good-natured personality. His breakthrough into mainstream American culture came with his memorable appearance on Art Linkletter's house party, where he stunned television viewers by effortlessly heaving massive hay bales into a high loft. The national audience had never seen anything quite like him. This moment not only earned him the now iconic Haystacks nickname, but cemented his status as one of wrestling's earliest crossover attractions. Calhoun's entertainment appeal soon transcended the ring. In 1962, he appeared uncredited in the Oscar-nominated film Requiem for a Heavyweight, a work that blended Hollywood drama with the gritty realism of the wrestling world. His presence, even in a minor role, underscored how recognizable and culturally relevant he had become. He also became a frequent guest on popular television programs, making appearances on You Bet Your Life and on talk shows hosted by Jack Paar and Merv Griffin, further solidifying his place in American pop culture. In the ring, Calhoun was never treated as a routine competitor. He was presented as an event unto himself, the kind of performer whose appearance instantly elevated a wrestling card. Promoters frequently booked him in handicap bouts, letting him square off against multiple wrestlers at once to showcase the sheer immensity of his strength. His offense revolved around dramatic, crowd-pleasing power moves, most famously the Big Splash, a thunderous landing that flattened opponents beneath his enormous frame, and a crushing corner sit-down that left adversaries with no choice but to submit. Calhoun's unique presence made him one of the most dependable attractions of the 1960s. Wherever he traveled, across the major U.S. territories, throughout Canada, and even overseas, attendance surged simply because people wanted to witness this colossal figure in person. Promoters often paired him with smaller, more technical wrestlers to heighten the visual contrast, transforming each match into a spectacle rooted in awe rather than pure competition. Calhoun embodied the essence of the old carnival showpiece, the kind of performer whose appearance alone justified the price of admission. In doing so, he laid the groundwork for the super heavyweight attraction archetype that future stars like Andre the Giant would later refine. Ironically, Calhoun's greatest asset, his immense size, also kept him from the sport's highest honor. Regulations of the era forbade title matches, where the wrestlers differed by more than 200 pounds, which meant Calhoun existed in a category entirely his own. Since no contender of comparable mass existed, Haystacks never won the World Heavyweight Championship. While singles gold eluded him, Calhoun flourished in tag team competition. Occasionally teaming with Mountain Man Mike, he helped create a colossal pairing that collectively topped 1,200 pounds, an unmatched record in wrestling history. Stories persisted for decades that the only man powerful enough to lift Calhoun clear off his feet was none other than Bruno Sammartino. Calhoun's role as a wrestling attraction became even more pronounced in the way promoters used him throughout his career. Rather than positioning him as a traditional title contender, bookers relied on his sheer size and presence to spark curiosity and sell tickets, an echo of the carnival era where unusual physiques drew crowds on spectacle alone. As a result, Calhoun frequently appeared in handicap matches, battle royals, and other specialty bouts designed to highlight his immensity. One of the most famous examples of the attraction approach was Calhoun's series of showdowns with fellow super heavyweight Happy Humphrey, long advertised as the world's heaviest wrestler. Their clashes at Madison Square Garden were promoted almost like sideshow exhibitions, two giants colliding in the squared circle, each larger than life in a way few fans had ever witnessed. Throughout his career, promoters continued to feature Calhoun in this fashion. Short stints in different territories, big gates built around his visits, and a constant rotation of matchups meant to showcase the lovable giant. Calhoun, for his part, embraced the role, traveling endlessly from region to region and never settling in one promotion for long, until he finally stepped away from the ring in 1980. The final chapter of Haystacks Calhoun's life was overshadowed by the long-term toll that diabetes had taken on his enormous body. After leaving the ring for good in 1980, his health deteriorated quickly. By 1986, severe complications forced doctors to amputate his left leg, and the once towering attraction of the wrestling world spent his remaining years largely confined to a double-wide trailer in Collin County, Texas. Although he had been one of the most recognizable wrestlers of his era, Calhoun struggled financially in retirement, a fate not uncommon for performers from wrestling's Territorial days. Many of his cherished keepsakes, unable to be maintained or preserved by the family, were eventually donated by his daughter to the Collin County Museum, ensuring that pieces of his story would remain accessible to the public. On December 7, 1989, William D. Calhoun passed away at just 55 years old, the victim of complications brought on by diabetes. Yet even as his life ended quietly, his influence within the industry continued to echo. In the United Kingdom, Martin Ruane built a wildly successful career under the name Giant Haystacks, a direct evolution of Calhoun's persona, proof that the template he created for the wrestling attraction lived on. Years after his death, the broader wrestling world formally recognized his impact. In 2003, WWE listed him among the 50 greatest superstars in company history, and his legacy was further solidified when he was posthumously inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame's Legacy Wing in 2017. Haystacks Calhoun's career represents a turning point in professional wrestling, a bridge between the carnival origins of the early 20th century and the global larger-than-life characters that would define the industry. Long before names like Andre the Giant or Yokozuna drew millions, Calhoun proved that personality, spectacle, and presence could be just as powerful as championship titles. He was not a world champion in the traditional sense, yet he filled arenas, captivated television audiences, and introduced mainstream America to the idea that wrestlers could be worldwide celebrities in every sense of the phrase. Though his life ended far too early, the blueprint he created became fundamental to wrestling's evolution. His legacy endures not simply in record books or Hall of Fame plaques, but in every performer whose body, character, or charisma turns them into an attraction all their own.